The chairperson of Ghana's Electoral Commission, Mensa, has assured the public of the Commission's transparency and fairness in handling the elections. At a press briefing, Mensa emphasized the EC's commitment to accountability and inclusiveness, while urging patience as results from some regions are still pending. She reiterated that the final declaration will only be made after due processes are completed. Pressure is mounting from political parties, with the National Democratic Congress demanding immediate results. Provisional figures suggest former President John Dramani Mahama is in the lead. The delay is partly attributed to political supporters besieging EC offices in some regions, affecting the collation process.
So on behalf of the Commission, we thank you very much for your time. We believe that in the next few hours, we are hopeful that the results will start trickling in, and if it becomes necessary to hold another press conference, we will do so. But to the citizens of Ghana, we ask that you exercise some patience. So transparent has been the process, and I believe that, I think right from the first few hours after the opening of the polls to date, we have held, this is the 8th press conference that we have held as part of the 2024 election. Indeed, prior to this time, the Commission held only one press briefing, and that was when the results were going to be announced. We believe that even in the next couple of hours, you would walk with us, you would journey with us on the journey of transparency, accountability, responsiveness, and inclusiveness as we receive the results that will come in from the regions. We assure the citizens that we will work hard in their interests as our key stakeholders to ensure that every vote that is cast at the polling station.
In the meantime, reactions have continued to trail the elections in Ghana after former President John Dramani Mahama won a historic comeback election victory on Sunday after the ruling party accepted defeat, with voters appearing to channel their frustrations to them for the government's handling of an economic crisis. Following Saturday's election, New Patriotic Party candidate Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia on Sunday considered Ghanaians wanted change after he failed to shake off widespread frustration over high costs of living. Supporters of presidential candidate John Mahama celebrate outside the headquarters of his National Democratic Congress Party.
Ghana is green and Ghana has won, and we are happy. We are very, very happy for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Yes, they said he can't come, and he has come. The nation builder is back to build our Ghana for us, because we are in need of schools, we are in need of hospitals, and we are in need of work. The 24-hour economy is here, and it's here to stay.
Oh, honestly, I don't have to expect much from him, because he has already done a lot in the so short 4 years. So I know he can do more.
It's been 8 good years since we've come in this mess, and we want a change. So we are very happy today. We've gotten a change. We've gotten quality education. We've gotten 24-hour job. The youth outside, they will also get a job. Those at home will get a job. The nursing will be posted, and everything will be okay. So at this point, we are very happy for the change that has come.
So today, if I'm happy that God Almighty has listened to our prayers and choose the one that Ghanaians need to be the next president of the Republic of Ghana. So Ghanaians are happy.
We also tell you that Ghana's former president, John Dramani Mahama, has staged a political comeback by winning Ghana's presidential election after his rival, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia, conceded defeat on Sunday. News Central's correspondent, Afia Hagen, who has been monitoring the polls, now files in this report.
They came in their droves to celebrate the win of President-elect John Dramani Mahama and the first female Vice President, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman. NPP candidate Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia conceded the election early on Sunday. Bawumia said he conceded before the official results to ease tensions. The NDC headquarters in downtown Accra became the focal point for their supporters to jubilate.
I'm here because of the special party NDC.
this victory has meant a lot to me because last 4 years was not easy, but we hope NDC is a better party and we hope that you can do something better about our country. That's why I'm here today. NDC special party.
So we are here to celebrate and send a message across the world that unity is the key to every success. We, Ghana, have come together to fight and put Ghana to freedom.
Many expressed their joy at the win and the hope that this was a new era for Ghana. The NDC said that its internal results showed Mahama had won 56% of the vote, against 41% for Bawumia. Mahama's previous time in office was marred by an ailing economy, frequent power cuts and corruption scandals. However, Ghanaians are hoping it will be different this time around. For News Central, I'm Afia Hagan in Accra.
Still on the polls, Ghana's 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections have taken an interesting turn. Even before the official results are announced, the Vice President and candidate of the ruling New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, conceded defeat, sparking widespread celebrations in the camp of the opposition New Democratic Congress, NDC. Our correspondent, Bernard Akede, is in Kumasi, where the mood is jubilant. Here is his report.
Let me say that the data from our own internal collation of the election results indicate that former President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has won the presidential election.
The early morning concession of defeat by Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has changed the political atmosphere in Ghana, turning what was expected to be a tightly contested election into a celebration for the NDC supporters.
Well, it means that the people of Ghana have chosen to change their circumstance. It means that they are not, or they have not been happy with the style of governance from the party in power. And this was a crucial election because both parties will have spent 16 years each in office.
At the NDC Secretariat in Kumasi, the air is filled with the sound of vuvuzela and the roar of motorcycle engines as riders perform daring stunts. For many, this is more than a political victory, it's a moment of triumph. Party officials at the celebration expressed their excitement, but were quick to acknowledge the challenges ahead.
For our party, if you look at the nature of the victory, it's emphatic. And so it rather gives us a huge responsibility. It communicates that Ghanaians expect something to be done. And for us, our theme for this campaign has been to reset the country and correct a lot of the wrongs, the institutional decay, a lot of things that have gone wrong. And so we know that with this victory, there is a lot to be done.
Despite the absence of official election results, many Ghanaians have already begun to refer to John Mahama as the president-elect, confident that the official announcement will confirm his victory.
Mahama has projects that he can point to all over the region. 11 E-blocks, hospitals, markets all over the place.
We are going to arrest all the MPP members. They stole our money, so we are going to arrest them. We expected it. He didn't have a choice. So for us, we are already celebrating. I think what he did is the most honorable thing to do for the peace of the nation and for the love of everyone in Ghana.
For the people of Ghana, this marks a significant moment in their political journey. While the celebrations continue, all eyes remain on the Electoral Commission for the final declaration. In Kumasi for News Central, I'm Bernard Akede.
Still talking Ghana elections, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Ghana's President-elect John Dramani Mahama on his victory in the December 7 general elections. In a phone call, Tinubu commended Mahama's return to leadership, expressing hope that it will strengthen stability within ECOWAS. Tinubu praised Ghanaians for their peaceful and democratic electoral process and applauded Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia for conceding defeat, reinforcing Ghana's commitment to democracy. The Nigerian leader emphasized Nigeria's support for deepening ties with Ghana, highlighting shared history and goals for regional integration. Tinubu also acknowledged outgoing President Nana Akufo-Addo's contributions to peace and progress. He pledged cooperation with Mahama's administration to enhance bilateral relations and promote prosperity in West Africa. In the same vein, the president of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Dr. Omar Alieu Touray, congratulated the people of Ghana on their successful and generally peaceful elections. President of the Commission also congratulated His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on his victory. Touray also commended Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia for his prompt surrender, which demonstrates his statesmanship and love for the country. Now, the chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission in Nigeria, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, on Sunday commended Ghana's electoral process, highlighting its innovations and political stability as key factors in the smooth conduct of its 2024 presidential election. Yakubu, who monitored the election, observed the political stability inherent in Ghana's democracy, noting the consistency of its political party structures and voter loyalty. Yakubu cited the perseverance of the main opposition candidate, our former vice president and the current president, Nana Akufo-Addo, who contested multiple times in the elections before achieving success. And now to discuss this story further, we are joined by a political analyst and a senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast, Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochere. Dr. Ochere, good morning to you, sir, and congratulations on the successful conduct of Ghana election. Okay, I guess we're going to come back to Dr. Ochere later on, possibly during the course of the news. But still talking elections anyway, but this time in Nigeria, over 17,000 ad hoc staff hired by the Independent National Electoral Commission for the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State have alleged that the commission has not been paid, has not paid their allowances. The workers who expressed their grievances against INEC were deployed by the electoral body for the exercise after they had undergone technical training. One of them, who simply identified himself as Ade, alleged that they were earlier promised to be paid shortly after the exercise, but they had not been paid up till the time of filing this report. Another ad hoc worker who spoke on condition of anonymity appealed to the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to intervene in the matter and ensure the payments are made. We'll now go on a break on the news. When we return, protest organizers insist on rally over Dele Farutimi's detention despite police warnings in Ekiti. We'll bring you the details in a short while. Join us again. Many thanks for staying with us. Let's talk judicial matters now. Magistrates in Cross River State have declared an indefinite strike beginning from Monday following the government's failure to address their 8-point demands concerning welfare, promotions and improvements to their working conditions. The Magistrates Association of Nigeria, Cross River State chapter, announced the resolution in a statement signed by its chairman, Godwin Ona, and Secretary Solomon Abo. The association emphasized that the strike would continue indefinitely until all their demands are met. The strike follows several months of unsuccessful negotiations, including a series of warning strikes and formal communications with the state government. Now, organizers of the proposed protest against the arrest and detention of human rights lawyer Dele Farutimi over defamation charges have vowed to go ahead with its planned protests in Ekiti, Lagos, Abuja, London, and Canada. Their insistence comes despite a warning by Ekiti State Police Command banning unlawful gatherings, demonstrations, and the sale and use of fireworks across the state, citing concerns over public safety and security threats. The state police spokesperson, Abutu Sunday, had said intelligence reports indicated plans by some individuals to exploit protests to incite violence and create panic. However, a flyer shared by the Take It Back movement on its official X handle indicated that the rally would hold despite police directive. In Ekiti, the protest is scheduled to be held on Tuesday, December 10, 2024, at the police headquarters in Ado-Ekiti. Meanwhile, the Kogi State government has handed over the site for the construction of the new Lokoja ultra-modern market to the contractor SABC Limited. In a ceremony at the site of the market, the Kogi State Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Honorable Mohammed Shaibu, said the project is a demonstration of the Ododo administration to make Kogi State the commercial hub of the nation, saying the present location was to correct the errors in siting the current market at the intersection of the busiest roads in Nigeria. Also, the Commissioner for Housing and Urban Development, Taye Abanika, said the decision of the state government to locate the new Lokoja ultra-modern market along the Zone 8 crusher is part of the urban renewal project of the Ododo administration, saying the present administration is gradually changing the face of Lokoja and other urban areas in the state. Joining us to shed more light on the project is the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Femi Fanwo. Thank you so much, Mr. Fanwo, for joining us on the news.
Thank you very much for having me on News Central.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now, Kogi has been in the news in recent times as it concerns insecurity. Let's start from there. How do you drive business in what people have perceived as an insecure environment?
Thank you very much. Maybe before now, we can be talking about the issue of insecurity in the state, but you have insecurity across the country. Each state is trying to solve the problem through domestic strategies. Our domestic strategies in Kogi State is to deploy both the kinetic and the non-kinetic approaches. And the non-kinetic approach seems to be working, empowering our youth, turning the state to a construction hub where most of these youths will be gainfully engaged to work. And part of what we are doing today by handing over this site is one of the approaches of ensuring that we engage our youth in very productive ventures so that we'll be able to distract them from crimes and criminalities. And that is working very seriously in Kogi State. Okay. Also, the state has been able to adopt what we call the community-led approach to security, where we have empowered the communities to be able to lead in the security architecture of the state under the Ododo administration. So, by and large, I would say Kogi is one of the safest states in Nigeria today. And that is why we are having all of these investments in the state. As a government, it is also our responsibility to create the right atmosphere and the environment for businesses to thrive, for investments to come in, and that is part of what we are doing today.
Okay, so you said the government in Kogi State is investing in youths and the community, and the grand plan is to make Kogi State the commercial hub of the nation. So what are the potentials that you would highlight for us to understand how Kogi can drive that narrative?
Thank you very much. In terms of industrialization, you would realize that the state is doing everything to ensure that we attract more grade A industries into the state. Already you have the Dangote cement, you have the Manga cement. Manga cement is about $1.5 billion project. They've started production already. A lot of A-list companies and industries are trooping to the state because of the environment that we have created. And because of our tax and land administrations in the state, we have been able to attract all of these giant industries to come and invest in the state. We need to harness our potential as a state. We are the most southern part of the north and the most northern part of the south. We are the gateway. We are the center of the country, bordered by about 10 other states. These are big potentials that we are trying to harness as much as possible. And what we are also doing today by having this kind of a gigantic project, an ultra-modern market, is to leverage our potentials and opportunities to be able to turn Kogi to the commercial hub of Nigeria.
So the idea is also make it, urbanized, so to speak. How will you be driving that also? Because we understand the making of Kogi State, as it were. What are the groundworks that would be put forward to ensure that we have this urban renewal in the state?
Thank you very much. What we have been dealing with in the past is a situation where we pay less attention to urban renewal. The immediate past administration started work on ensuring that we have urban renewal in the state. The major urban centers should look like real urban centers, while we also provide the right infrastructure at the rural areas. You cannot take care of the urban areas properly and effectively if you don't take care of the rural areas. And the policy of the administration is to ensure that we reduce drastically the movement of people from rural areas to urban areas, so that we'll be able to plan the urban areas and also develop the rural areas. And also, you look at Lokoja. Lokoja was the first federal capital, was the first capital of a united Nigeria. And what it looked like, before, like in the past 9 years, 9 years back, wasn't something that we are proud of. We've started, the last administration started doing something about Lokoja, but the Ododo administration has taken it up, to a completely different level. And you have what we call the Lokoja Urban Renewal Project, LOP. The LOP is such that we would ensure that we are able to organize Lokoja in such a way that it would look like a modern capital city of a state. Okay. And, the market we are having also that we are handing over to the contractors to start constructing from today is also part of our Lokoja Urban Renewal Project, LOP, because it will ensure that the 6 other markets that are scattered across Lokoja are brought together in just one place. Okay. And that will have all of the infrastructure of what you will have in a modern, modern market.
Okay, thank you so much, State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Femi-Fanwo, for sharing the ideals and the thoughts of the Kogi State administration with us.
Thank you very much for having me, and I will also be inviting New Central to once in a while come and see the project that is sitting on 25 hectares of land. It is a massive one, and it is something that Nigeria will marvel at when it is completed. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Trust us, we'll be there. Thank you. Away from that, we talk politics. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has nullified the expulsion of Ikenga Ugochinyere by the Imo State chapter of the party. The Imo PDP had announced the expulsion of Ugochinyere, a lawmaker representing Idiat of Federal Constituency, over alleged misconduct and anti-party activities. However, the NWC, in a statement by PDP spokesperson Debo Olugunagba, declared the expulsion null and void. Citing sections 57, subsection 7, and 59, subsection 3 of the PDP constitution, the NWC confirmed and affirmed that state chapters lack the authority to discipline National Assembly members without its approval. The committee reiterated that Ugochinyere remains a bona fide member of the party with full rights and privileges. To discuss this, we're joined by the former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Prince Dinron Odeyemi. Thank you so much, Prince Odeyemi, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm happy to be with you this morning.
You're welcome. So how does the PDP's constitution define the limits of disciplinary actions by state chapters, and why is it significant in this case?
I quite understand the position of the party when it comes to expelling or suspending a member, because politics is a game of number in area. So I can understand the position of the party. But having said that, that is not to say that a member of the party cannot be disciplined if in any way he is found wanting or engaged in anti-party activities. Now, 2 chairmen of the party, precisely Alieu and Secondus, were expelled, were removed as the national chairman based on the fact that their ward, the ward from which they registered as a member of the party, expelled them.
Okay.
Odi is a member of the political party from Abuja. We all originated from the ward. And as a result, I believe that the ward has every right to exert discipline on any member. But the issue is the constitution is due for review. We are operating a constitution, from 2020 that was reviewed in 2017 and up to. Why is it that we use one law for a section and we use another one for another section, especially when it favors us? This is what I don't understand, what I think the PDP should look into.
But I think the NWC is not really too particular about the disciplinary actions against Ugochinyere. What their grouse is who has the power to actually invoke that particular law on disciplining, a member that has erred. So I'd like to find out from you how you feel as regards that particular clause. If maybe a party member or a chieftain in a state decides to discipline someone, can they first channel that grievance to the NWC at the national level before, that disciplinary action is carried out? Don't you think that's a proper way to go?
No, the best way to go is for the party to set up a disciplinary committee to look into whatever issues that, for ratification, and from local government to the state, from the state to the national. That is the procedure. So I don't understand why Ikenga's case, is different. That is the normal procedure, what the Constitution says. So it does not say that you cannot initiate any action from the ward. Yes, you can initiate it, but at any point, either at the local government level or the state or the national, it could, it could be overruled.
So with NWC now overruling the Imo PDP's decision on these particular disciplinary issues, is it going to have any repercussion and implication on the party, both at the state and at the national level?
Not really. Since the national has overruled that, I think what should follow is a kind of arranging a meeting to reconcile, the parties. And it is only through that peace can come to PDP. Because just like I said, but we don't want to lose any member. So it is better and it's normal for the national, for the NWC to sit down, call the ward executive or the ward members and Ikenga and make sure they settle whatever is misunderstanding among them, rather than, sanctioning or approving the expulsion from the ward.
Okay, so finally, just to be fair, the allegations are around misconduct and anti-party activities. Is he culpable of these allegations?
I cannot say.
All right.
I don't know, what the proofs they have to have, arrive at that decision. But if it is based on anti-party, I think it is dangerous for anybody to execute. It's dangerous for the party to harbor or encourage whoever is found wanting or to engage in anti-party activities. It is dangerous.
All right. Thank you so much, Prince Diron Odeyemi. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
We move on now. African leaders have been tasked to focus on building strong institutions and eliminating corruption in governance in a bid to create a conducive environment for economic growth. This was during a conference in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where they called for more efforts to eradicate corruption on the continent so that Africa can achieve its development objectives. Our correspondent, Joshua Marai, filed in this report.
Building a sustainable platform for economic growth and development in Nigeria and Africa was the focal point of the conference, and that was organized by the Africa Intercontinental Network Initiative, which held in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The event, which had in attendance individuals from various sectors across the continent, emphasized the essence of peace and unity as a major recipe for building a prosperous continent.
Let us put aside our differences. Let us forget about Nigeria, Ethiopia, South Africa, and all other countries that divide us. Because at the end of the day, we are all part of Africa, one black race. Together, we can achieve greatness.
Guest speakers at the event say Africa must focus on building strong institutions and eliminating corruption to create a conducive environment for economic growth.
Nigeria cannot work if corruption is our middle name. Build any platform you want to build, it will collapse within years if greed is our middle name.
To build a sustainable platform for the development and growth of Nigeria as a nation,
We must kill corruption at its roots.
Participants at the conference reaffirmed the urgent need for collective effort in fostering equitable development across Africa. They say that only when nations collaborate and coexist peacefully, Africa can achieve its developmental objectives. In Abuja for News Central, I am Joshua Imalayi.
Now we'll let you know that energy experts in Nigeria have urged citizens to dispel fears over the use of compressed natural gas as a fuel source for the nation's transportation sector. They made this call in Abuja, the nation's capital, saying CNG is safe for use by vehicles and commend the federal government for its current policy on its use. Amadine Uyi reports.
It was a gathering of energy experts deliberating on Nigeria's compressed natural gas policy and its possible implementation nationwide.
Yeah, the conference is a knowledge-sharing conference, and the essence of the conference is to draw critical stakeholders to bear their views and share their thoughts on the ongoing CNG revolution in Nigeria and how we could get the public to key into it to support the implementation of this robust and very, very important federal government policy.
They say the policy has come at the right time and is the way to go for Nigeria.
CNG could have started many years ago. What I mean many years ago? Because we have the CNG. If you have things, not utilizing it is like you would not value it. So this means that definitely CNG is the way to go, because it's a big ecosystem. When you talk about CNG, you not talk about only the transportation, moving goods and persons from one point to another, but also reducing the carbon monoxide being produced and polluting the environment.
It is the way to go, especially with the removal of fuel subsidy and with the intervention of the government. It is a cheaper and cleaner alternative to, fossil fuel. So, and with the issue of climate change and global warming, I think Nigeria needs to push their reliance on fossil fuel to a more cleaner energy.
Some of them allayed fears over the use of compressed natural gas as a fuel source for the transportation sector, saying it is safe for use.
CNG is a cost-effective alternative to gasoline. It's cheaper, it's environmentally friendly, and we have the statistics. It's also not dangerous. CNG itself burns at around 594 degrees Celsius at auto ignition temperature, while gasoline burns at 260 degrees Celsius, and that's far away. In case of accidents, CNG is safer because it doesn't spill. If you have vehicles that spill off gasoline, CNG doesn't do that. CNG is lighter than air, so even if it's leaking, it goes on here, and it has a lower range of flammability. That's between 5% and 15%.
They say Nigeria currently has about 15 million vehicles on its roads and commend the ambitious objective to convert 1 million of those vehicles to compressed natural gas by the end of 2025. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
Away from that, let's now remind you about church baby dedication, which remains a significant ceremony where parents publicly commit to raise their child in a Christian environment, seeking God's blessings and guidance. This tradition is rooted in the belief that children are a precious gift from God. However, former governor of Delta State, James Ibori, member representing Delta State in the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Monday Iduya, among other prominent Nigerians, joined the family of Mr. and Mrs. Olatunji at the Christ Embassy Church in Warri, Delta State, South Nigeria, for the baby dedication of their first child after 5 years in marriage. News Central's correspondent, Austin Azu, who captured the event, now reports.
Asiwaju Olatunji, accompanied by family members, friends, including the former governor of Delta State, James Ibori, among other prominent Nigerians, danced to the altar with little Ivan Tuji Olusuji to be dedicated before God. First, the couple, who have been married for 5 years, shared their testimonies. How God remembered them after fervent prayers and dedication to God's promises after marriage.
As you know, my anniversary, my 50th anniversary was yesterday, and this is my first baby. But this is not my first pregnancy. This is not even my sixth pregnancy. But I just thank God for everything. I can't really tell you all. I went through all my stuff, but I just want to say thank God.
To me, I was not scared because I knew that one day it will come to pass.
Thereafter, the pastor named the child as Tifoluwa Olukayode Osaheruwen Ivan Tuji Olusuji, leads a prayer of blessing upon the child before dedicating him to God.
And this is the dedication.
Attention thereafter shifted to the reception venue for the entertainment of guests. The parents thereafter made promises to raise their child in a Christian home, teaching him God's ways and values.
I will bring up my child in the way and admonition of the Lord, in the way of the Lord. I will teach him the ways of the Lord, and I'm sure God helping me, I'll be able to bring him up well, to become a man that will love God the way I love God and serve God the way I serve God also.
He is a precious gift from God, and I don't take that for granted. I promise to raise the celebrant in the fear and admonition of the Lord.
Some guests also made a wish for the child.
I wish Tife Oluwa, who is somehow my son's namesake because my son is Bola Tife, I wish him good health, which is very much important. I wish him greatness. I wish him so much greatness that, that greatness would impact his parents, and God will provide them the resources to take care of him.
The child will grow in wisdom, in good health. It will be a voice to his generation. It will be a solution to his world.
Long life, good health, prosperity.
As an inheritance from God, children are entrusted to parents' care, requiring responsibility, love, and guidance. In Warri for News Central, I'm Austin Azu.
Up north, tragedy struck in Egypt's Asut province as rescue teams recovered 4 bodies after a minibus carrying 14 passengers plunged into a canal in the Beirut district. According to state media, authorities are continuing search operations for the remaining missing passengers, with divers and water police actively involved. Egypt faces a high rate of traffic accidents, with official statistics from CAPMAS, the official statistics agency, reporting 5,861 road fatalities in 2023. Efforts remain underway as families and officials await updates on the ongoing rescue mission. Still in the north, Libyan Prime Minister Abdulhamid Biba has approved the National Food Security Strategy for 2025 to 2035, a plan aimed at enhancing the country's food sufficiency and sustainability. Announced on Sunday, the strategy includes 174 projects and 65 programs targeting local production and a stable food system. Speaking at the approval ceremony, Biba emphasized that food security is a national priority and key to Libya's economic and social stability. The government pledged full support for this strategy and urged collaboration between public and private sectors to ensure its success. This comprehensive plan seeks to address major food security challenges and build resilience in Libya's agricultural sector. Outside Africa, U.S. President Joe Biden has called Bashar al-Assad's fall from power a moment of historic opportunity for Syria. Speaking from the White House, Biden said that the fall of the regime is a fundamental act of justice. Biden says the United States will engage with all Syrian groups over the political transition after the fall of President Bashar al-Assad, adding that the fallen leader should be held accountable.
13 years of civil war in Syria, more than half a century of brutal authoritarian rule by Bashar Assad and his father before him. Rebel forces have forced Assad to resign his office and flee the country. We're not sure where he is, but there's word that he's in Moscow. So thank you very much. God bless America, and God protect our troops. Thank you.
What should happen to Assad now, Mr. President?
Mr. President, are you concerned about all that war and release?
We will engage with all Syrian groups, including within the process led by the United Nations, to establish a transition away from the Assad regime toward independent, sovereign, independent, I want to say it again, sovereign Syria, with a new constitution, a new government that serves all Syrians. And this process will be determined by the Syrian people themselves. And the United States will do whatever we can to support them. We will remain vigilant. Make no mistake, some of the rebel groups that took down Assad have their own grim record of terrorism and human rights abuses. We've taken note of statements by the leaders of these rebel groups in recent days, and they're saying the right things now. But as they take on greater responsibility, we will assess not just their words, but their actions.
Straight to sports, Lagos-based side Touray Marine Academy and Safety Babes of Abuja emerged champions of the 2024 Premier Handball League on Sunday. Touray Marine Academy dominated the league, winning 19 of 20 games. Already crowned champions, Touray Marine defeated Rima Strikers of Sokoto 36-33 in a thrilling dead rubber match played at the Indoor Sports Hall of the National Institute of Sports in Surulere. In the women's category, Safety Babes of Abuja overpowered Defender Babes, winning 36-32 to secure their fourth consecutive title. Away from that home side, ASC Dakar shot 31 of 66 on field goals, including 5 trebles and 14 over 23 on free throws to pick a commanding 81-50 victory against MFM Queens from Nigeria in the 2024 Women's Basketball League Africa, subjecting MFM to their second defeat as ASC are now in prime position for a quartet's place. Elizabeth Dabu was spectacular again as she led her side to victory, dropping 19 points and 14 rebounds. She added 6 assists, a steal, and a block to a tally for 34 in efficiency, the highest so far. Mustafa Gaye, ASC's head coach, says the plan was to play hard from the get-go and round the scores early, while MFM's coach, Joy Ochuko, blamed her side's lackluster defense for all their troubles. We end with this. West Ham forward Michail Antonio has undergone surgery for a fractured leg following a road traffic accident on Saturday. West Ham confirmed that the 34-year-old would continue to be monitored over the coming days and that further updates on his condition would be provided when appropriate. West Ham announced on Saturday that Antonio was stable, conscious and communicating after the crash. London-born Antonio, a Jamaica international, is in his 10th season with West Ham United after joining from Nottingham Forest in 2015. And that's all at this hour, but before we go, we'll look at our major stories again. Ghana's Electoral Commission urges patience as election results are finalized. Protest organizers insist on rally over Dele Farotimi's detention despite police warnings in Ekiti State. We also told you that Libya approves a national security strategy on food self-sufficiency for 2025 to 2035. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avro TV and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Lekon Onobanjo.